I would like to open the meeting for Tuesday, December 5th. If we could all please stand for a moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated. Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner,
Here.
Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Here.
Okay. Yeah, I see him.
Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the workshop minutes from November 19th of 2017? All in favor? Ayes have it. Meeting minutes are approved. Earlier this evening, we had an executive session pertaining to litigation and personnel matters. Vice President Perry, do you have any announcements this evening?
Yes. We have Norristown Recreation Committee and First Presbyterian Sports Club is having a Christmas Around the World, which is Friday, December 15th. The time is 5:45 to 8 o'clock at Airy and DeKalb Street. The First Presbyterian Church is for ages from 5 to 12. It is limited to 80 people. The registration deadline is December 1st. The agenda for that night will be traditional foods in various countries. Game room will be open, ping pong, foosball, shuffleboard, chalkboard drawing, open gym for soccer, basketball, pillow, polo, frisbee, dodgeball, much more. Holiday craft, making snacks, M&M bingo, Santa will be there also with a fire truck. If you have any questions, you will call 610-270-0467 or email fpileggi, Pileggi at norristown.org to pre-register. On December 7th, we have a budget workshop, which will be from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. here at Municipal Hall. Council will be discussing the upcoming 2018 municipal budget, but no action will be taken. We have National Leagues of City Resiliency Competition Visit, which is December 14th and 15th. The National Leagues of Cities and the Institute for Building Technology and Safety will be coming to Norristown next Thursday and Friday as part of the National Leagues of Cities Small Cities Resilience Competition. The municipality is a finalist in the competition and may win assistance valued at $40,000. And then, recently, council members took a trip to North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, for the National Leagues of Cities. And we would like to congratulate Councilwoman Valerie Scott Cooper as being a board member now for the National League of Cities. What that entails is that she would get to go to Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C., that there's a lot of cities that are affected across the world, but she would represent Norristown to the fullest. So there's some people out there that's saying that we use money, taxpayers' money, to go and spend in Charlotte, North Carolina. That's not what we do when we do this. We go and we get with other cities that are just like us, and we figure out some things that are affecting our everyday lives. That's it. Any other announcements? Councilwoman Scott Cooper.
Yes, on Saturday, December the 9th, Help a Single Parent Foundation will be holding an annual fundraiser, and the tickets are $25. All proceeds go to single parents in need for their children. And it's from 8 to 12 midnight. And if you need tickets or want more information, please see myself or Councilwoman Sanders.
Good evening. This Saturday from noon to 4, there will be a 4th annual awards banquet for Norristown Men of Excellence. It will be at the Carver Center this year, free to the public. They will be honoring local Norristown residents in education, athletics, community organization, business, young achiever, and career. This is Saturday at the Carver Center. Lamar Buddy Epps for career, Mr. Joshua King for young achiever, Diva's Kitchen for business, community organization. It will be family services, Vivian Shorley. Athletic is Isaiah Webb, quarterback, senior from Norristown Area High School. And education is Miss Angel Cabold, local juvenile probation officer. Thank you.
Oh, sorry, Council.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I just want to elaborate on the National League of Cities. As a result of us joining the National League of Cities last year, the resilience study that we are a finalist in is a result of us attending the National League of Cities conference. Also, too, our Citizens Leadership Academy is going to be a nomination for the National Black Caucus of Local Elected Officials as a diversity award. So we're submitting our Citizens Leadership Academy to that nomination for diversity in our community, and also to the language that you're going to be seeing in a new ordinance around workforce development and demanding stronger language and holding the developers that are coming to Norristown to hire local, to hire our residents in the work in the $230 million development project that's going to be happening at the courthouse. We demand that our Norristown residents are awarded some of those jobs. So when, you know, we're looked at like we're taking luxury trips, we're taking trips to educate ourselves, to become better leaders, become better officials and, you know, government officials, so that we can improve Norristown and bring those projects to Norristown. So that's what's happening when we go to the National League of Cities.
Thank you, Vice President Perry. Madam Secretary, do we have public comments this evening?
Yes, James Waters.
Good evening, Council. It's nice
Good
to be
evening.
back. I had a few things I wanted to cover with you today. One of the things, I want to compliment you on your Keep Norristown Beautiful. I've always believed in that in all the years I've been here. And what the river community has done in this past Schuylkill Scrub, which I talked to you about before. And also, I think you all had the YouTube video of the work that was done down Riverfront Park. That was a great thing. I think there's 70 views of that so far. But the big meeting for the scrub and the reports and everything is December 7th. So after that, I'll have a report of the tonnage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and the plan next year. See, the thing is that we've, as Norristown, has kind of like been off the radar for some reason. And what I want to see happen is more grants come to Norristown by way of the river. Now, that may sound funny, but there's over $600,000 that was put out in funding for recreation and parks and so on and so forth from the Greenway. And it's like Royersford, they've got a they got structure to rain gardens, landscaping, benches, trash containers, blah, blah. And the quote here in the paper is, Royersford Borough has made, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses, has made great strides to improve Riverfront Park over the years. And I think we've done the same thing here. The trouble is that maybe we don't have a voice with the Greenway, which I'm pretty sure the river community is going to solve that communication problem. I mean, the money came all the way down to Pottstown. They've got over $200,000. Can you imagine what we could do with $200,000 at Riverfront Park? Tommy, what do you think? Clean up that whole upstream side. We can have the Dragon Boat Nationals here. In fact, I just read a report that the Port Indian Ski Club is going to have the Barefoot Nationals here. Now, I realize that that's on the Upper Marion side of Barbados Island, and there's no way that anybody can really see it. I mean, it's a tremendous event. Maybe I'll put it on YouTube for you all. But the grant money is out there, and I'm hoping that we can work something towards that. We were, I believe, when we had our first meetings about the danger of the water weeds, was that Norristown had a grant writer. I'll find out more in this meeting on the 7th and get back to you all. Another thing that I want to talk about is a really old situation, and it was from 2008, and it had to do with flooding of the Norristown sewer plant. And the issues that had to do with Blue Marsh releasing during the flood, making things worse. And actually, the 2014 flood was also a flood with no name where Blue Marsh was releasing. I have all that documentation. In fact, Senator Rafferty held 2 hearings on which we brought the Army Corps of Engineers down. And, you know, there's more going on with that knowledge. See, one of the problems we had here in Norristown is the flood gauges, USGS flood gauges, were turned off in 1933. And we kind of like fell off the radar as far as anything. Now that they returned back on August 2001, more FEMA acknowledgement is coming along. There's been several houses raised in Port Indian. There's been one removed, so on and so forth. I'm after some money for the sewer plant to rebuild the sewer plant because I believe that that is one of the key issues for Norristown's revitalization. And what I'll do is I'll just pass, I believe, the secretary. The letter.
Yes.
Back in the government now, 2008. So I have all the documentation, news broadcasts, everything, even with 2014. You'll see in that letter I'm asking for money for the sewer plant. So we'll talk about it later.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Waters.
That's it.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. Madam Secretary, do we have any communication this evening?
No, we don't.
Thank you. At this point, we are going to skip the municipal administrator portion of the agenda, and we will go to public safety. For item A, would a member of council make a motion to approve Resolution 17-170 to appoint firefighter Anthony W. McConey as a career firefighter? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. Resolution 17-170 is approved and passed.
So now we will continue with the agenda, going back to the municipal administrator, beginning with Resolution 17-172. Mr. Jones?
Thank you, Madam President. Council, you have before you Resolution 17-172, which is basically a bit of housekeeping. As you know, Council has already approved the application, and we have applied to and been accepted as an affiliate of Keep America Beautiful. One of the housekeeping duties that we have to undertake once that affiliation has been granted is a resolution of council that designates us as an affiliate. This resolution pretty much serves as the basis for our affiliation. So the resolution is before you for your approval so that we can submit that required document to the Keep America Beautiful operation so that we will be officially, finally, a Keep America Beautiful affiliate as Keep Norristown Beautiful.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Councilwoman Olivia Brady.
Thank you, Madam President. Just a comment about this. I'm really excited about this Keep America Beautiful affiliation. I think it's going to be able to provide us with a lot of opportunities to be able to look towards keeping Norristown cleaner and brighter and environmentally healthy. Thank you.
Councilwoman Lewis.
I'm curious as to how residents and business owners can get involved. Do they have to be appointed to this committee, or how does the community get involved to join and participate?
The committee has already been established, but certainly are taking volunteers. So anybody who is interested in being a part and engaged in the activities of Keep Norristown Beautiful would contact my office. Our executive director of Keep Norristown Beautiful is my special assistant, Brandon Ford. So if you contact the office of the administrator, ask for Keep Norristown Beautiful, and we can get you all the information you need. We also have information on our website that's available for anybody who has computer access to go on and connect that way as well.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Councilman Jones.
Just wanted to give kudos to council, Olivia Brady on the ordinance. Also, the Public Works Director. We've been aware that trash has been a major issue in Norristown, up some of our busier streets. But collectively, I believe council and our administrator and our Public Works Department have been really trying to push forward to address the trash issues from our contracted trash company to now creating a program that's going to allow residents to participate to keep the community clean.
Thank you, Councilman Jones. Would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the authorizing of the establishment of Keep Norristown Beautiful to serve as a local affiliate of the national nonprofit Keep America Beautiful? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Suann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. Ayes have it. Resolution 17-172 is approved and passed. Next item, Mr. Jones, is Resolution 17-153.
Thank you, Madam President. Resolution 17-173 is a request of council to approve this resolution, which would have the municipality become a member and endorser of the Pennsylvania Urban Parks and Recreation Alliance. This affiliation would give the municipality access to resources which would help make urban areas like ours healthier, more livable, and economically competitive through the revitalization of our parks, green spaces, and recreation opportunities. Council, as you recall, you set as one of your 3 top priorities a recreation and support of recreation and leisure services activities for Norristown youth and citizens. And so this is in line with that, and it was brought to our attention by I believe the Pennsylvania Municipal League that this was available through, I think, Councilman Perry's affiliation on the board. And so he brought this to our attention, and we are bringing the requested resolution to council for your consideration. Once done, we will make the necessary application to become a member and take part and advantage of all of those opportunities available.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Councilwoman Brady?
Thank you, Madam President. Just a question regarding this affiliation. Are there grants available through this program that will be able to provide playground equipment on parks, specifically looking at playground equipment that would be inclusive of children with learning disabilities or blindness or deafness? Because I've seen some really great stuff being done to increase sensory perception in children through playground activities. And I was wondering if that's something that we could add to some of the parks that we have.
Go ahead.
Okay.
You want to respond?
Well, yeah. So one of the things that they are working on is in regards to some of those things. The reason why we're doing it is because sometimes they cut funding in Washington, D.C. So once again, when we're looking at and being a board member of the Pennsylvania Municipal League and going to the National League of Cities is this is how we're educating ourselves to go to these meetings and finding out stuff like this that we don't regularly know about if we're not in these meetings. So it's an honor and a pleasure to try to get some of this stuff from Norristown. I know it's long overdue. I know we went to a couple things already. We went to a manufacturing business. I know Councilwoman Sanders and myself, along with Crandall and Frank Pileggi and Jane, to look at some playground equipment. So staff is looking at that, and they will come back to council with some great ideas, and we can't wait until it happens.
Thank you, Vice President Perry. Would a member of council like to make a motion to consider endorsing and becoming a member of the Pennsylvania Urban Parks and Recreation Alliance, a coalition comprised of park and recreation professionals and urban leaders that aims to help communities revitalize and develop parks, green space, and recreation opportunities? Second. Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. Ayes have it. Resolution 17-173 is approved and passed. Mr. Jones, next order of business is the ratification of the collective bargaining agreement.
Thank you, Madam President. We're requesting of council now approval to ratify a 4-year collective bargaining agreement between the municipality and the laborers local 135. This agreement is the result of ongoing negotiations between the labor union and the municipality for, I guess, quite some time now, and actually covers the period of time January 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2019. We think it is a strong agreement. We think it certainly takes care of the labor force and the hard work that the Public Works Department does. It also honors the requirements of the municipality in terms of accountability and a strong workforce that's available when we need them to be available. So with that, we are requesting council. We briefed you on the details, and we're requesting your approval and ratification of the agreement.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Council, any questions or comments? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to request Municipal Council to ratify the 4-year collective bargaining agreement between the municipality and the Laborers Local 135? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones, Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. That motion is approved and passed. You're welcome, Mr. Jones. Now back to public safety. Skipping Resolution 17-170 and going into Ordinance 17-17 for the one-way street redesignation.
Public Safety Department is basically requesting that the council consider Ordinance 17-17, which is to redesignate this whole 100 block of Green Street from the two-way to a one-way street for vehicle parking. Should be an easterly direction on Green Street from Nash.
Thank you, Lieutenant Dillon. Any questions, council? Councilwoman Brady.
Thank you, Madam President. So the westerly prohibition, that's not a word, parking prohibiting parking on the western side. Currently, I'm looking at the map here, I don't see that there are any residences on the other side. And this is going to continue the one-way designation of Green Street so that it doesn't get confusing because it's one way down to Lafayette Street. But my concern is the residents that are on Green Street and Poplar Street and Wood Street, what is parking now and how is this going to impact the parking for those residents with this no parking on the one side of the street?
It won't impact them at all. There's parking on both sides of the street, even though it's a two-way. But that block, this started out originally as a request for handicap parking from one of the residents from the Muse at the Basin and Green Street, actually on Basin Street. As we looked at it, our traffic safety people did a safety study on it. There's barely any traffic there now that the hospital's gone. There is a total of 2 residential homes in that block from Basin all the way up to the hospital. It's not going to impact parking on the street. The church is there. They have their own off-site parking, off-street parking. So it's not going to cause a problem with parking current residents. It won't cause a problem in the future. And it actually, I don't know why that's the only 2 blocks of that street that's that two-way. It's actually more of a safety consideration that is two ways there instead of one way the entire length of the street. So, when we looked at it, there won't be any problems.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Dillon. Any other questions? Seeing none, would a member of council, Councilwoman Scott Cooper. Thank you, Councilwoman Scott Cooper. Any other questions? Councilman Jones?
Yeah, I just wanted to confirm where the one-way street will start. Is it starting on Fernand Street? So from Fernand Street straight to Lafayette Street, it'll be a one-way street. Cool, thank you.
Any other questions? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to approve Ordinance 17-17, which would redesignate the 1200 block of Green Street from a two-way to a one-way street and prohibit parking in easterly direction on Green Street from Fernand Street to Wood Street? Madam Secretary, may I please have roll call?
Olivia Brady, Valerie Scott Cooper, Hakeem Jones,
Aye.
Heather Lewis, Sue Ann Gardner, Derek Perry, Sonia Sanders.
Aye. Ordinance 17-17 is approved and passed. Next order of business we have is code enforcement. Mr. Simonson, if you could take us to the two agenda topics.
Thank you, Madam President. Certificates of appropriateness for HARB for October of 2017 go as follows. 103 Knox Street for some new windows. 416 West Main Street to rebuild a front porch. 205 Noble Street is front door and windows. 425 DeKalb Street is a new storefront. They submitted architectural specifications that were approved. 239 East Main Street is for new windows. 526 Astor Street is for new windows, and 202 Chain Street is for new windows.
Thank you, Mr. Simonson. Council, are there any questions? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for properties that applied for the HARB? All in favor? Aye. Any nays? Seeing none, the ayes have it. That motion is approved and passed.
Okay, the second item is the certificates of appropriateness for HARB for November of 2017, and they go as follows. 1105 West Airy Street is for a new gutter system. 612 West Airy Street is for new windows and a porch. 927 West Washington Street is for new windows. 1226 Linwood Avenue is for new windows, and 258 Minor Street is for a complete restoration of a fire property.
Thank you, Mr. Simonson. Council, are there any questions or comments? Seeing none, would a member of council like to make a motion to approve the certificate of appropriateness for properties that applied for the HARB for November of 2017?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any nays? Seeing none, the ayes have it, and that motion is approved. Would a member of council like to make a motion to adjourn the meeting? All in favor?
Aye.
The ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.